Game 2 in our grand finals, and Wham already leading, but Anatan with a pristine opportunity to equalize. Rus game 2. Wham to the Mongols. Now, it is a good map for Mongols. We are going to be on good old Rocky River. It may not be a good matchup for them. Mongols, they like to raid, they like to outpost rush, they like to Magadai raid, all these type of attack points, but the problem is when you're against Rus, those attack points don't really exist. The hunting cabins and the food gathering generates all the gold they need. They're not as exposed as basically any other civ in the game would be pre-10 minutes. That's why Wham shouldn't really be committing to any aggro. Instead, I love this, just goes to the Uvu, parks the pasture, and he goes for Deerstone. So we're not going to be seeing an attempt at trade here. It's not going to be trade versus Pro Scouts. And I agree with that. The problem with going trade here against Pro Scouts is Rus will get Castle Age, and when they do, it'll be Horse Archers. We all know how that story ends. You try to trade against Horse Archers, you're just going to die. The other rough part is you can't allow Rus to easily reach that control point of Castle. The reason is, against Horse Archers, Mongols actually don't have a solution. Not an easy one anyway. You don't have walls. Walls is the easy solution. And this civ has no way of building them. So Anna, Pro Scouts on the way. Love the interception from Wham, just blocking the push in. That really hurts Anatan's timing here. He had 40 seconds with which he could have pushed. That would have got him probably all the way to here by the time the tech came in. So really just lags his ability to get those in. And the response from Wham seems to be a 2 TC build. 2x speed is now done. We are caught up. I can't think of any other reason why you need 500 wood already. Maybe triple archer range? I mean, archers are the counter to horse archers. No, guys, it is 2 TC. We have Magadai. Makes a lot of sense as well. We interviewed Wham. He actually talked about how he thinks that the Magadai play is really good right now because of Pro Scouts. It's a blocker. Stops your opponent from getting the goodies. And how did you guys gamba? 73% for Anat. Yeah, Rus is pretty ridiculous. If you ever needed an insight as to how ridiculous Rus are, he's going up to 11 scouts. I have a feeling 2 Magadai might have their work cut out for them. Now, we do have the second town center coming in from Wham, at least. He just needs a lot more Magadai if he wants to block this player, though. I don't know, already almost halfway towards the tech timing. Remember, he's holding the floating, the Golden Gate charges here. So it may look like he's really far away. He's not. He just needs to munch the wood and then full deposit. Rus busted at the moment? Busted might be strong. They're very strong. I think there's more busted civs. I'd say China and Juji are more busted than Rus. When hasn't Rus been high A or S tier before Season 9? I'd say in Season 8, Rus weren't as strong. The popularity had fallen off. They weren't really getting banned at that point, right? People were actually calling Rus dead before the Pro Scouts meta came. Speaking of those Pro Scouts, looks like the goodies are going to make it home. A lot of deer at that. And now, all you have to really do is split up. Take deer from both flanks. Just don't condense, because then the Magadai will always find you. High trade house now on the way. Get your numbers in. Oh, it's so quick. There's barely any trees missing. He chopped just enough trees to get everything. Bloody hell. A good life. Meanwhile, the second TC of Wham has gone wide onto the deer. He's even adding in an outpost. It's going to need it against horse archers. Kind of smart, though. This should make it very difficult, if not impossible, for Anatan to get in for the deer. And you at least now get a healthy 2,450 food for yourself. I don't think Wham can scale Magadai against horse archers. That doesn't work. Because the Magadai get outranged. Horse archers can just kind of annihilate you, especially with Boy's Fortitude. Wham just needs to get to Castle Age. I would be surprised if he adds any additional units in before Castle now. Meanwhile, for Anno, go double archer range and add a monastery. I don't think you need to be greedy or aggressive about this, rather. Overly aggressive. triple archery range isn't really going to change your timing as much because it's static defenses. 47 trees for the high trade house. Not bad. Tier stone is moving up. Khan Hunters? Sure, the Khan Hunters give you the extra range, but you're still going to be trying to trade into a Castle Age variety unit with 5 damage. You won't win that fight. And remember, Magadai are more expensive. They're 150 resources. Anno's only paying 120. There's the monastery. So let's give me 150. 150 gold from the high trade house. It's a good life. And all it has to do is exist here. And for that low price of existing, it'll also generate you 35 extra gold from the deer gathering. And you want to gather the deer. Sorry, 151 gold. Whew. Wham is switching horsemen. I like that. One thing I don't like about it is long-term food source, but he has got the boar nearby, so he can extend his life. This is like having a second deer pack, basically. I'm almost tempted to say I'm liking the cut of Wham's jib here. It's almost a 10 villager lead at the stage. The relic rush is going to be tough. You're adding in horsemen, but that means you also have a weaker answer to the warrior monks. The good news is, because he went on the deer, he's at least contesting the gathering rate of Rus. Rus is still going to be better. Remember, they've got the bounty system, which is giving them an extra gathering rate. He's at tier 2 right now. And on top of that, he's generating gold as well. It's pretty powerful. And what is up? That is powerful too. Worst case, 9 months. Thank you, mate. Appreciate the sub. Welcome back to the swarm. Undermesh on the way. That's actually a big deal. Wham, he skimped, right? Because he didn't want to scale Magadai. There's no point building Steeled Arrow for 2 Magadai, 2 Khan Hunters. He's at least got the tech on the way. Smart choice here as well. I don't think you really want to be doing Kurotai. You just don't have an existing army. We've seen games just end because people lack the army to utilize that in the first 2 minutes. Better to have step readout and just vomit out a lot more troops. Also means he's not rushing out in a panic to the next gold vein as quickly into mass horse archers. In fact, the most important detail is min-maxing these 2 veins for him. Nice follow up from Anno. Smart choice here. Just keeps him mobile. Gives him an answer to horsemen. Gives him an answer to Magadai. I mean, it answers a lot of problems. Wham doesn't really want to rush spears when he's against horse archers either. That's usually a recipe for disaster. Dive coming in. That worked out actually perfectly for Wham. Just about dodged the shots. Horse archers are going to chase, but there's only 2 workers here. Not exactly great gains. And no, he goes the wrong way. That, folks, is why you send half-half. Ranged armor 2 coming in from Anno now. Wait, oh god, but Wham is going into archers, so this benefits Anno quite nicely. The other rough part for Wham here is you went step readout to now just build archers. I prefer this. Just get the crossbow mass going. If you're going to have all that extra gold, you might as well be using it. We're not a Swiss bank. You can't gain interest. Actually, do they provide interest, or do they just provide tax evasion? I forget. So where's Wham's win condition? He is scaling an economy lead. I think he needs the winning castle, though. I don't like his odds if this goes into Imperial against Rus. Without trade for Mongols, like, what do you got? You can eventually set up trade. Remember the Silver Tree effect at the Silk Road. It isn't something locked to the landmark, at least. But I just don't think you're ever going to feel safe. You need to be attacking, and Wham is stuck defending. Triple outpost is going to be good for that, at least. He's going for relics, but there's only one to... Oh, sorry, it's a marketplace. I was about to say, there's only one relic to grab. In fact, there is a world in which Anatan just comes in here and takes this. I think he's already marching over for it. Knight count is at least not high enough to kill the TC. That's big for Wham. Boy's Fortitude is on the way, though. And that's going to allow a more permanent effect to these type of dives. Better split. Remember, last time he got juked out because he didn't split the horse archers evenly. This time we'll find the kills. Knights arrive, and these horsemen... I mean, he didn't continue to scale them, right? They're not even upgraded. They're not even threatening. Sprint replacements are at least going to protect him. But this secondary TC has no real protection. Sprints are now at least on the way. Remember, the first outpost has arrow sleds. Not exactly the threatening damage you're looking for against Boy's Fortitude Knights. Horse archers? We're going for the trade. Now, you might be going, why doesn't Anathan just build a ram? Very difficult to build a ram without opposable thumbs. You know, the hoofs just kind of get in the way. In theory, if someone held the nails, you could just, like, hammer them in with the hoofs. You'd still need someone to help. Interesting from Anathan. He has so much food, he's switching into horsemen. Another really valuable unit. This is a full pony strat. Anathan, we had the ball boy strategy in the last series, and now we've got the My Little Pony fantasy here. Scouts, horsemen, knights, horse archers, warrior monks. He's literally building every single unit, and only every single unit that Rus have that have a horse. Yeah. Starting to wonder whether there was a reason to even keep this here. Remember, Wham, he brought it up early for the Magadai rotation. I think it's also to scout the deer. Now it's just a waste and dead. Good news is, Wham's playing a tower defense game, so it's not like he's ever going to leave his base at this rate. Bad news might be literally everything else in this game. Trip Sacred Site. 5th relic on the way home. I mean, what can't you do at this stage as Anno? You can't build 4 TC, but 3! Why give yourself a runway? Why exhaust yourself down? He just like that says, yeah, triple TC seems right to me. He already killed 9 workers. He already got all the extra income off the map. I mean, Wham is just going to get completely outscaled now. The real question I have for you guys. 3 if you think Anatan will build a non-cavalry unit before the end of the game. 4s if you think it's going to be only ever cav. Because that's the real question that matters. That's the only thing we truly care about. I got a feeling this man is just going to try to end the game with cav. Like, you know, there's a tempting dark side to the Rus where you're like, Streltsy does sound good. But if you've got this much food and you've got this much gold, I actually think pole axes for the knight sounds better. Springalds? I mean, if he builds Springalds, is that, like, do we just count that as a type of cavalry? It's like a wooden horse, you know? High armory now on the way. We might see siege. The good old Wamatan set is definitely delivering already. Outposts are being set up, so Wham just trying to prep himself for that big 8k gold vein. I know Sam won't want to fight just yet, not while teching. Not while teching and greeting. Yeah, before anyone thinks, oh yeah, no, there's an order to this. Anatan's going to add Springles, just add Streltsy, blah, 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 blah. I want to remind you that in the deciding game of the semi-finals, this guy did just spam mass bull monks and landmark rush his opponent. An opponent you might remember, a very talented lad, B. Well, there's step 1 to us sticking to the course. Elite tech for horse archers coming in. Understandable, 36 of them. More knights are being built. Tithe Barns is also being researched. I think we have a pony off. Actually, is it really a pony off if your opponent doesn't pony as well? I guess not. Ponies versus humans? Who would win? Five outposts, man. You don't even have that many villagers here. But at this stage, you're against mass horse archers. You might as well protect yourself with the defenses. We're going to see the OP Karganet? I think we are. Because there's only one way to beat Rus Knights and Rus Horse Archers. You know which way that is, guys, right? You build them as well. There's the Poleaxes tech. This thing is slept on so often. I've been noticing a few more players just training towards it. It's really strong, guys. If you think about how many attacks it should realistically take in an Imperial Age fight between knights to kill each other, I think it's not unfair to say 20. Because of things like biology. So 20 attacks, that's an extra, what, 80 damage? Cantled Saddles only affects the first 3 attacks for a French Knight, and that's an extra 30 damage. Pretty wild. And unlike Cantled Saddles, you can just keep A-clicking a fight. You don't even need the charge. Same number of villagers, half the resources? Yeah, because, I mean, in fairness, while I'd agree that Mongol Eco has its problems, can we also not ignore the fact that right now, Anatan is generating, I don't know, 700 gold passively? And then even more from the High Trade House and the Hunting Cabins. But I don't equate that because I'm talking about the things that Wham could have had. The food is nuts, though. And that is the power idea. But now it's just a switch into farms with the food gathering rate buffs. I'm not really sure what the plan is right now for Wham. I mean, he has reached the next stage. He does have Warrior Monks on the way. Sacred Site win condition isn't going to be realistic, Fanatans. What happens if you just march into the enemy base right now? Karganet is at least going to produce the Nest of Bees. That could be a big backbreaker here. Anatan's, over half of his army is Horse Archers. And the Nest of Bees do get their bonus damage against this unit. Sacred Site. Oh my god, he's not going to let him decap. Oh, come on. That's not fair. We even have the Gallop coming. Amount of training on the way. Remember, this is the one way when you activate it, you get extra tar range. You're able to shoot on the go. And by default, it gives you the extra tar range. Get 1, but then you can activate it for an extra 2. Actually, sorry, no, you don't get moving attack, do you? There was an argument a long time ago that why is it called Gallop, but you don't do that. No, what this will mean is you can go up to 7.5 tar range, basically Lombo range with these things temporarily. You ever feel like Anatan is just kind of playing with his food? I see where he's come from. Diving in probably only serves to potentially lose you the game. Your opponent needs to come to you. Keep drops as well. Which is going to be so much fun for Wham, who just spam spears. I'm trying to remember, is it crossbows OP from Wham or spears OP? He usually says spears are OP, right? In fairness, against a full cavalry comp, spearmen should be OP. He even has the text to support it. Elite Army Tactics on the way. I know. I don't think he meant to do that to the villagers. But he deleted the wall. He actually opened the way. He says you've come out to play. Let me welcome you to the neighborhood. The spearmen dive in for the villagers, but that means that the backline gets access straight away. And that is going to be a wipe. There's no competing against the biology timing. 369 health. Just sounds a little bit too nice. Dowers beware. You thought he was going to build an infantry unit? A siege unit? Cavalry only strategies in 2025. What else do you need? He's just mocking him now. He's not even attacking anything. He's like, hey, just want you to see how big my army is now and how small your army is. And I thought maybe you'd like to leave the game. He's like, do you see it? There's a lot of them. Wham's like, I will beat you with sheep. Okay. Didn't expect that response. Cavalry balanced. Okay. I've roused up the gold level players still having issues with mass French knights. Actually, sorry, the gold, the plat, the diamond, and the conchs. They're all there. Wait, did he just what did he just delete? I heard deletions. Is that the horseman? He just got rid of the horseman. He's like, screw this crap. I want more knights. Who needs the trash units? Incident area is on the way. Reminder, he took that fight without it. It was just about the knights. The unkillable knights. We do have hand cannon near spear now, so as good as Wham can do. We've even got textiles, because he knows what this is about to be. He's gonna have to pull, and... oh, pull a leg! Oh, God, pull a muscle! Mass cav only. Is it really OP?